Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named VxT, who I have reviewed before. And we're going to be checking out a track named En Passant. And if we switch over to here, En Passant, it's my very... I hope I'm not too far off from that pronunciation. I think it's like... I think the song's about chess, as I understand it. It's got some chess references and stuff like that. Ironically, not that I know specifically what en passant means. I wish I did. But I suppose we're going to find out, and I kind of feel really uneducated right now, so we're going to move on from that. We're going to listen through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Oh, that's a really pretty little synth part with these interesting vocal chops. Oh, a little bit of modulation there. Cool, cool. Nice reverse takes, really. Very well led.
In this game, no competition. Playing chess, not checkers, y'all.
Okay.
Ain't gonna stop unless at the top. Hey, sliding my way through. Call it en passant.
Sliding my way through, call it en passant. So, I'm first of all, I'm glad I did get the pronunciation close, if not correct. Secondly, shout out to musicians who put lyric videos on their YouTube channel. Not for me, but like, I suppose the people on my channel, for example, they might not have English as their first language, you know. Not that people should be making lyric videos for me, but for people who might want to hear your music, it can help having the words on the screen. So, smart move. Also, really interesting choice with like we had some pan delay there going from the left to right, a bit of automation there, some stereo delay. Dude, man. Okay, so before I go any further, I know I'm pausing this a lot. I'll try to do it less in a moment. We'll try and get through the whole entire verse without me pausing it if I can. I like the idea of using chess like kind of brain games and trying to sort of outwit people and stuff like that. I think it's cool.
It's not no checkers. I see 21 moves ahead of you. That's my 20/20 vision. Making the moves like I am a king. Doing the thing like King of the Ring. Y'all better look out for your queen, cause right now there's literally nothing between. Cause I've been just jumping over enemies like a knight. You know when I leave I make this thing right. You just gotta keep the tension and fight. But if you're in scope I'ma shoot you on sight. Got a long vision like a strong bishop and I'm on mission. Yes, I had it right from the get-go. When it comes down to the end game, got the opposition despite fee and chateau. Challenge me.
Whoa. Sorry, I've got to shout out how smooth that flow was when we went into those 16th and 32nd parts in the vocal part. I love how much space there is in the mix as well, how nice and wide things are. It sounds like you're kind of in the same room with them, and things are misty and whirly, and you're kind of figuring out just how far this guy is ahead of you psychologically. Or mentally.
Keep it classical. Eat you like a pizza now. I'm so damn Sicilian. When you done capping, making concoctions up with that boom bap flow. When I'm done rapping, leave you no options, that's the zugzwang though. Doesn't matter if you're rated or not, I destroy you in less than a minute. I got this song is hyperbole. Anyway, I'm about to pull it, I fulfill it. When it comes down to the styles I took, kinda on the side hanging with that rug. Cause I'm like Magnus, yeah, up in this game. I don't compete, I just leave y'all shook.
So I'm trying to figure out why the vocals are so present, and what I've noticed is that we actually do have like a lot of width to the vocals, like they're kind of getting it panned to the sides, and that's a constant thing. Something that's really cool to do when you have a rapper is to give them a bit more size in the mix by expanding it using a stereo expander, or like having multiple layers kind of go out to the sides. Often some people will have the vocals in the center and then have overdubs of certain lines in this, which I think we did have here, but it was more of an overall focus on that width. And I think it just, especially when you've got these misty kind of elements aside from like the percussive, well, obviously kicks are percussive, you know what I mean, side chaining and stuff. I think that's a smart decision there from a production perspective.
Playing chess, not checkers, y'all. Ain't gonna stop unless at the top. Hey, sliding my way through, call it en passant.
Nice development of this oscillating synth here. Oh. Yeah, it came back. I'm trying to figure out what these instruments are as well. Like we've got some sort of is that a piano that's been screwed with or chopped on the sides? And then we have some other lines there. How many different filtered piano parts do we have along here? How do you even begin to get these sounds? Like, are we creating them from scratch? Are we literally recording a piano? Are we using a synth to make a piano sound? And then, like, there's so many questions I have.
Let me gambit you a lesson. This ain't no E4, no E5. Right from the opening, cause I study my lines. You know when I rhyme. Maneuver my pieces up on the board like it's some wordplay. Pulling out arrows from quivers to fight off your sword. Make you go no way. I see through all of the bullshit, this my discovery, call it recovery. Did you really think that I was cheating? Give you a summary, Starfish is learning this out of me. Cause I'm the alpha, you are the zero. Understand it ain't no game, this is the real flow. What is the deal though? These background rappers, y'all just sound the same. Fit this buzz like it's the middle game, not here for taking no names. I pour my soul on this rapture, so think twice before you capture. But
I think we're going to some sort of pseudo bridge here, but we're changing the lyrics for each step. It's almost like we're kind of clarifying our position in the verses to then go back into the chorus and conclude. I think that's smart. It can be kind of sad when people just repeat a bridge verbatim, even if that's part of the point is bringing those lyrics back and summarizing. It's clever.
this beat, this is my whistle to burn you down.
And it's a little bit of change in the actual accompaniment as well.
I'm staring you down. I don't even need to castle, but if you diss me, I can't approve. Although I got nothing to prove. I'm so artsy, I'm at the Louvre, sliding my DM like touch to move. But in the end, you keep on playing with your minor pieces, making the cash, I'm making it rain. All you get is checkmate. In this game, no competition.
Great choice here. Because I wasn't expecting us to go up the range and up that octave there, and it's just those little things that are like, oh, I'm intrigued, I'm perplexed, my interest is, you know, what are we gonna do next? It's a lot more gentle as well. Nice way to finish. As if we made our point and we don't have anything more to prove. There's been so much effort put into this track off of this album. I can hear that the way those things are kind of slithering around on the sides when he talks about sliding right through. It's kind of ominous and perplexing because if you listen, I think if you pulled aside these different elements and ingredients in the mix and heard them separately, they might not sound like they go together. But VxT has managed to make it work, and I'm impressed by that. I love modern production. So that's En Passant from VxT, and I'll put this is the upcoming album, as I understand it, En Passant. If the rest of the tracks like this, I'm very excited for it, because this is my conclusion of this track by VxT, En Passant, which is a song about how you can use chess as an allegory for your way through life. I can't tell if we're directly referencing someone, if we're directly trying to, you know, sort of fourth wall it, and we're talking to the listener or like someone they know, especially when they're talking about like take care of your queen, because we're, you know, there's no distance between us. I like the comparisons there. I think that you know, initially when I hear someone talk about chess, you either assume they know everything about it or nothing. But I think that anyone who's even slightly familiar with it will be able to understand the wordplay going on here with the story. And I think that's gorgeous, even if I didn't understand what en passant is. Let's just Google it. Let's just Google what en passant means. The en passant capture is a move in chess. A pawn may capture en passant a horizontally adjacent enemy pawn that has just advanced 2 squares in one move. The capturing pawn moves to the square the enemy pawn passed over, as if the enemy pawn has advanced only 1 square. What? Because I go to the gym and I verse the AI computer, and what? I feel like my life is a lie. But yeah, now that we actually understand what the track is about, I think it's worth going into how it was voiced. You know, I think that VxT's vocals were splendid. They were nice and present in the mix. Interesting voicing, a little bit more melodic in the hook sections, which made sense because having a contrast, a more percussive way of phrasing yourself in the verse with the cleaner vocals, and it's a nice touch. It's an easy way of distinguishing the two elements, especially if you don't have a phenomenally different approach to the accompaniment which in those two parts. I think that it was easy to tell how it was what. It was a very cool, calm, and calculated performance from VxT. It was confident. The words came through clearly, as I mentioned before, and also just the speed and the flow of it, the variation with those rhythms. There was some finesse in there, like for sure. I don't really think we could have changed a thing. I think is exactly where it needed to be. I don't think if we'd gone any faster it would have been a benefit. I'm glad that we kind of put on the brakes a little bit and just didn't have it as speed rapping for most of the time. But nonetheless, it's just having range and differences in the grooves, even in the vocal section, is just it's just as important as the percussion, the backing, because the person's listening to the story needs to be intrigued and interested. And if you just go da 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 da, that's just boring. We had range there, we had variety, and that's cool. In a way that made sense. The actual performance outside of that, and when you've got like a vocalist who is confident and who tells the story like he did in this track with En Passant, you've just got to make sure your structure's there. And again, as I mentioned, the verse and chorus section were distinct. There was a bridge of some kind, I think, where we varied stuff a little bit. We didn't repeat those vocals though, so it could have just been like an alternate tail part of the verse that we went straight in there. But it definitely bridged the gap. And I just liked the subtle variations in there. I think especially with that last chorus, I went up the octave. It was a nice way of signaling that we're at the end there. I mean, this track is 3:49. It's not a short song, but it's also not a long song. I think the real estate was used incredibly well. I don't think there was any filler in this track whatsoever. I'm glad that we finished when we did. I think we got the point across and it was classy. And I think the accompaniment of all those interesting sort of like warbling kind of, there was a bit of animosity coming from those, almost like we were trying to think logically and rationally about our approach through the song. But also we wanted to indicate that the person listening was in danger. That, chess isn't just a game where you just use your head and make simple decisions. There's also the fear of getting caught, right? There's the fear of getting outplayed. And I think the synths, the bass, the drums, and everything like that, those reverse takes, and the other little subtleties there, they communicated that vividly and incredibly appropriately. So, all in all, I think the accompaniment as well as the theme was stunning, and it's just the production, the recording, mixing, and mastering, where honestly, I don't think we could have done anything to improve it. I think it was exactly where we needed it to be. I'm not saying nice things just for the sake of saying nice things. I think that the quality of the actual vocal performance was fantastic. It was nice and crisp, great microphone or whatever they recorded that with. It was nice, and it suited the quality and timbre of his vocals. It was filtered and elevated nicely. It was present in the mix alongside the bass and the other instruments there. Nice stacking of stuff in the frequency spectrum. Nice and light. The mix was nice and wide in the stereo field. Everything had a place and made sense there. The actual leveling instruments was well done. There were no weird resonances or sort of anything going on. It's ready for release. And I mean, the limiting compression itself was nice and loud without pumping. The quality of stuff that I've been reviewing recently is phenomenal. I don't know what people have been eating. I don't know what people have been doing, but there's a lot of really good quality rap and hip hop especially and stuff like this around. And it can be difficult to say that people should check out a track when there are so many other ones to track at the same time. But I would legitimately recommend people check out VxT stuff. I think it's a really good quality, and I look forward to hearing more chess related stuff in future. But effectively, this is my review of En Passant by VxT. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please go check out their various social medias and their YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as you help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I will catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.